Hello, today is episode 5 of Dojo's Growth Mindset series, and today we find out how Mojo puts together all the ideas he's been learning about his brain being a muscle, about trying harder, about challenges. So we're going to see what happens when he fails at something. So let's see how that comes about. I'm going to press the video in just a moment. I'm going to go back and...
Mojo puts it all together.
Yeah, he does indeed. Let's watch this one.
Months of hard work had all built up to this moment. Today, Mojo and Katie would attempt the biggest challenge of all. Mojo, are you ready? Said Katie. Mojo snapped back to reality. He could hardly contain his excitement as he waved goodbye to the crowd and prepared for launch. Katie counted down. 3, 2, 1, blast off! But things didn't go exactly as planned. Well, said Katie, at least we probably grow our brains by trying such a big challenge. Yeah, said Mojo. Maybe this challenge was just too hard. Disappointed, he walked home. That evening, Mojo couldn't stop thinking about the failed launch. What did it even matter if your brain was like a muscle, he thought, if you always ended up failing in the end anyway? Still trying to make sense of it all, he drifted off to sleep. But when the sun came up the next morning, Mojo was beginning to see things differently. He rushed off to school to find Katie. Katie, we've got to adjust this fin design, repair the boosters, and see if Bruce can check our thrust calculations. Sounds great, said Katie. But I thought you said rockets were too hard. No, that's all nonsense, said Mojo. See, I got to thinking last night, trying to figure out why it matters that your brain is like a muscle. First, I thought it meant that if you don't succeed, you should just try harder. But it's not just about trying harder. Then, I thought it meant you could do anything if you work hard enough. But that's not exactly it either. But now, I think the truth is much simpler. It's that working on challenging things is the only way to grow your brain. So if you learn to love challenges, you'll always be growing, getting a little better every day, until one day you can do something incredible. Katie smiled. She thought back to how Mojo had wanted to leave school because he thought he wasn't smart enough. Now, he was unstoppable. But what do you think? Has Mojo changed since chapter 1? Is it possible for anyone to change like Mojo has? Now that's an interesting question indeed.
It surely is. Okay, I'm just going to close that one and we'll go to the discussion. Okay, so we can see that Mojo's rocket launch doesn't work out, and in fact, he failed at that. And he was reflecting on the things that we've been watching in the videos about growth mindset. It isn't just about trying harder. It doesn't mean you'll always succeed. It doesn't mean that if you do hard things, you're always going to be able to do it. The realization he came to in the end was that if we do keep challenging ourselves, we are growing our brain. And then one day when we do come across a challenge, we have been working really hard on other things, we might succeed at that. So everything that you do that you find challenging, one day that will be leading to success for you. Okay, so what I've got some questions for you. Question 1, what does it feel like when something is too challenging? So can you think about what are those feelings that you have? Okay, if you're with an adult or another person, tell them, how do you feel when something's too hard? Okay, next part is it wrong that we feel this way? What do you think about that? Second question to think about. What kind of attitude should we take on when facing a challenge? So what are the ways that we could think about doing something hard? We could think that it's too hard for us, or we could think, I know this is challenging, but I'm really excited, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to ask for help, and I'm going to do my best. Perhaps we can think like that. And question 3, when taking on a challenge, it's okay to ask for help or take a break to think about it, like Mojo did. Does it mean we're not growing our brain anymore? What do you think? Yes or no? Asking for help and taking a break to think about things. Does that mean we're not growing our brain? Okay, now here are some other questions that you can think about at home. So, question 1. Sometimes when we're working on a challenging task, we may think, just try harder. Is there another way to say it that would be more useful? And what are some strategies we can use when facing a big challenge so we don't burn out? So what can we do when we just feel like we want to give up? What's a strategy you can use? And last one, think about some sentences we can use to keep us going when we face a challenge. All right, so an example would be, nice effort trying to solve the math problem. Okay, once you've stopped watching the video, please click on the answer section, and I'm going to put just a couple of questions for you to answer for me about this video. Okay, right, well, have a great week ahead, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.